So, welcome to Beards and Buckets. My name is Teebs.
I'm Mike.
And, welcome back to episode, I don't even know, 3.
Episode 3.
Yeah. Cool. So how's your week been?
Hey, it's been alright.
Yeah?
It's been alright. How about yourself?
Chilling. It's been some good basketball this week. I watched my glorious king, Payton Pritchard, which we'll get into more later, but he broke the record for threes off the bench in the regular season.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, looking forward to talking about that some more.
Very impressive.
I love some fast PP.
We do. Unfortunately, 3 players passed this week. Former players, not current, but rest in peace to Junior Bridgman, Slick Watts, and Oliver Miller. Wanted to get that out there. They will be missed.
Fly high to the
everyone.
God of basketball.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to the God of basketball.
Damn right. My Bryant Bulldogs won the conference championship. Did that yesterday morning. So
go Bulldogs.
Second time making the NCAA tournament. They put the whooping on University of Maine.
They seemed like they were pretty hype about it. So I saw. That's so fun. Shout out Bryant.
One of the players actually proposed to his girlfriend too after they won.
Shout out
Congrats to Kayvon Kramer.
Shout out to that Bulldog.
I'm right.
All right. So what I wanted to throw out first is something that's got everybody buzzing, which is probably the tightest MVP race we've seen in a while, which is SGA versus Nikola Jokic, who, I don't know. What is your personal pick if you had to pick between the two?
See, now it's something I struggle with right now because, I don't really know how to feel about it.
Yeah.
What I will say is, Jokic got 2 right now or 3?
He's got 2.
2?
Yeah.
He should have.
He should have 3. Yeah. Embiid did. I'm sorry. No.
Yeah. As good as Embiid was that season, he didn't really deserve it, in my opinion. It's not that he wasn't deserving. He just wasn't the most deserving.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Shai does play for the better team. He is, the driving force behind that. But Jokic is just doing such crazy stuff this year. And frankly, has the Nuggets overperforming where they probably should be.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Murray, he's been good, but he hasn't been typical Jamal Murray. Same can be said for someone like Aaron Gordon, hasn't necessarily had his best season. They're lacking the depth that they really had, their championship roster. And so I think Jokic's boost in play and them sort of maintaining that sort of top tier performance in the West, I gotta give it to Jokic.
Yeah, I could see it.
Although I think Shai is equally deserving.
Oh, absolutely. My pick is Shai. I think it should be Shai, mainly because it'd be his first one. And, you take him out of that equation in OKC, they're at best, probably 5th, 6th place, I would imagine. You know what I mean? There's a lot of dogs in that team, but and you could say the same for Jokic, absolutely,
right.
In Denver. But that's usually how I judge it, as I just picture that player not on that team. I'm like,
right.
Would they still be good? Probably not. But in this case, I think it goes for both of them. So
yeah, I was going to say, I feel like you're right. If you take Shai off the Thunder, they'd probably be 6th seed,
yeah,
7th seed. I mean, maybe a little worse because it feels like, I like J-Dub, but him as your best player, your Chet might bolster them a bit, but you take Jokic off the Nuggets, they're a lottery team.
Yeah.
Yeah. As much as I like Jamal Murray, and I'm a really big Aaron Gordon guy.
Michael Porter Jr. is pretty good, but
Michael never sling the rock. Porter Jr. So, I like those guys, but they're nothing without the Joker.
Yeah.
I feel like the Thunder are at least competent without Shai.
Yeah, Shai, everyone says Shai's a free throw merchant. That's what I've been hearing all season long. And, low key a little bit, there's a lot of players that if they had Shai's whistle, I feel like if Tatum had Shai's whistle, bro, he'd be averaging 35, 40 points a game. Okay.
I'm just clap in frustration and get a tech every day.
Again, most overhated player
so
in basketball.
Brutal. He does the
Yeah.
And it's just immediate T every single
God
time.
forbid he does like a little pull up on the rim or something.
Exactly.
It's like...
Exactly. Something I will say with the whole foul merchant type of stuff is there's one thing if you're constantly flopping and getting calls, but there's another thing. It's just like you as the defender, you've got to know what's coming. Like there's a certain amount of skill to it. When Harden was doing it in like 2017, 2018, 2019, he got so damn good at getting the ball low, coming up and hooking the defender's arm, and laying it up. They literally changed the rules because he got so damn good at drawing fouls.
Yeah.
And Shai is figuring it out with the new rules, figuring out how to get foul calls. I feel like he does a fair share of flopping, but to me, it's not as egregious as someone like Joel Embiid. Or he'll throw a pump fake, flail his legs.
Or you could be like Cat, get hacked. Be like, oh my god!
You see the clip of Josh Hart and Brunson reacting to that on their pod? Just watch it, seeing them watch the clip, and then Cat's just like, oh my god! And then it goes to Jalen Brunson's face, and he just can't hold it together.
Oh, man.
It's so damn funny. At least, though, with Cat, he's actually getting fouled.
Right.
I feel like sometimes a little too much with these guys. They call for completely unwarranted fouls. Or they'll... The funniest thing to me whenever it happens is when you'll see a player, like, pissed.
Yeah.
Absolutely fuming, arguing with the ref. And then they go back and they show the replay, and it's like they hacked the person's arm. It's like it's so obvious it's a foul, clear contact. Like anybody in the arena would have seen it and called it a foul. And they're just sitting there arguing with the ref, like, on my mama, I didn't do it. I didn't.
Oh God, put that on God. Yeah, when do the awards usually get announced? Usually, I forget.
Damn, I want to say it's obviously after the regular.
Usually it's if your team makes the playoffs, I think it's like right when the playoffs start, I think, from what I remember.
I think it's sometime right before the playoffs start.
Yeah, because typically, like for MVP, for example, you get recognized in front of your home fans and everything. Right. So, and typically if you win MVP, you're on a playoff team, right, so that they take advantage of that opportunity. It's not like freaking LaMelo Ball is rocking with an MVP over Zoom.
I wonder what you think about this. What would a player have to do statistically to win the MVP and not be on a playoff team? How dumb would their stats have to be?
I gotta go like 40 points a game, just something insane, like 40. Like if you're a guard, maybe you get 8, 9, 10 assists a game.
Right. Like if you're
a hell of a defensive player too, you'd have to give it to him at that point.
Well, it's let's just say next season, the Hornets are just as bad as they are this year.
Let's say,
but LaMelo's averaging 45, 10, and 8. Are you giving them the MVP?
I would.
Because I mean, it could just be the rest of the team is that ass.
Yeah. But see, that's not the MVP caliber player's fault, though, that the team's cheap. You know what I mean?
True.
You shouldn't take it out on him because, the rest of your team's ass. It's like, bro, I'm not making the trades.
It's true.
I'm not La GM.
If you come out like Wilt and you average 50 and 25... Even if your team's ass, at some point it's gonna be like, all right, this guy though, cut a buck.
Yeah, man. Well, SGA or Jokic, I think it's basically a coin flip at this point.
I do too. I think it can go either way. I have a feeling SGA's winning it.
Yeah.
I just personally feel like Jokic is a little bit more deserving of it. I can't be mad. if SGA wins.
I think it's the fact that he has scored 60 straight 20-point plus games, you know what I mean, and what he has done is the reason the Thunder only have 10 or 11 losses right now, I think, or 11 or 12, something like that. It's not much.
I got the standings. Let me check. 55 and 12.
Yeah, you're not getting only 12 losses if you take Shai out the equation. You know what I mean?
Right.
The Nuggets are still good, and that's the reason they're right behind the Thunder in the standings is because of Jokic. But you got to look at those 12 losses and be like, that's because of Shai.
Yeah.
But the thing about him getting 60 straight 20-point games, he joins Kobe, Kevin Durant, Michael Jordan, Kareem, Wilt Chamberlain, and Big O. Wow, that is elite company.
You want to know what's surprising for me? It's shocking to me James Harden is on that list.
Me too.
And I'm not even just saying that as like a James Harden fan.
If I had to guess, he probably had like 50 something and then just had like a real bad game.
Right.
But even like a bad game for him, he probably had like 17 or something.
That's
you know what I mean? Like,
because bro averaged 36 for a season.
Yeah. So there must have been like a horrible game or something.
He was playing bad. He must have been playing really bad.
Yeah.
That was just surprising to me because he has had multiple seasons.
Yeah, but shout out Shai, man, and that elite company. Next thing. Ooh, this is a good one, especially the Knicks being your second favorite team. So as I wrote this a few days ago, I'd have to double check, but as I wrote this a few days ago, Timberwolves, since Randle have come back, are undefeated. And I know you love Julius Randle. I know you're a big fan. So
right now I'm looking. They're 8-2 in their last 10, but I don't know how many games Randle's been back now.
Yeah.
But I think it's on when Randle's on the court.
That's what that means. Yeah.
Since he's come back, it's impressive. I mean, it seems like they're finally starting to figure it out a little bit.
Yep.
I mean, you get a new player. I've always sort of felt like more often than not, the first season that you add a new player like that, it doesn't really work out the way you're expecting it to.
Mm-hmm.
There are cases where it does, but I feel like for the most part, there's that 1 year of sort of the players have to gel, and then in year 2, they really have everything figured out and know what they're going to do, and it looks a lot better.
Right.
It seems like they're getting to the point where they're finally starting to figure it out. And I know Kenny Beecham, his podcast, he was mentioning sort of a mentality shift for Julius Randle. Like when he was on the Knicks, he had that All-NBA year, averaging like 25 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
He was in the mentality of, I can beat this primary scorer for the team, which like he has the talent, but frankly, he doesn't really have the talent to do super consistently.
Yeah.
He's not going to be your go-to option.
No, he's offense. Never been that guy in his career, ever.
And I like his game, but he's the way he would play and how he would score. He would take a lot of difficult shots. In the playoffs, it would kind of bite him in the ass.
Yeah.
So I'm happy for the Timberwolves that they're doing well. I like that team. Anthony Edwards is a dog. And I mean, Randle is too, but I mean, hopefully you see that level of play continue into the play.
The Timberwolves, in my opinion, have been the most annoying team in basketball this year because they can win 6 straight and then they can fucking lose 6 straight. That's just how they've been. I don't understand it, but the talent that they have, it's incredible.
Right. I mean, I look at them. I see Edwards. I see Randle. I see Jaden McDaniels defensively. And I like what Naz Reid can bring.
Yeah.
But he's got to get used to being like primary sort of center at being gone. So, and I mean, obviously they got Gobert defensively. It'll be interesting to see how that team works out.
Yeah. And it's one of those teams if they, I would assume, be in the play-in at the very least. You can never really count them out, with the talent that they have. So
right,
yeah, because Ant could just go for 50 just because he feels like it.
If the playoffs started today, that would be going up against the Rockets.
Bring your ass.
Bring your ass. that was such a goated moment. I've never been to Minnesota. Bring your ass.
Bring your ass.
I wouldn't be shocked if the Timberwolves, though, sort of just out-star powered the Rockets.
Yeah.
That could be a potential upset if seeding stays the
right.
same.
Who the hell knows with the NBA?
Certainly don't.
It's gonna be interesting. All right. Let's see, what else do I got here? I was gonna talk about Big Z, Zion. He's not fat anymore and he's playing the best of his career. So
I'm right. I love some Big Z. Unfortunately, the Pelicans are 18-50.
Unfortunately, yeah. That roster on paper is so good, man. It's just like, man, and this might be the worst when it comes to injuries I have ever seen, if I had to be honest.
Oh shit, that reminds me. Speaking of injuries, you seen the whole thing with well, actually, I'll bring it up after we talk about the Pelicans. Let me bring up Zion's stats real quick, because I know he's been doing real good since he got back.
Yeah, no, he has been hooping, and
on the year,
not to mention his playmaking has been incredible since he came back.
Mm-hmm. On the year, got 24 points, 7 boards, and 5 assists on 56% from the field. The 5 assists is really impressive. I mean, people knew sort of coming into his career from Duke that he had the playmaking ability.
Yeah.
But 5 assists a game is probably a cut above what people were even expecting out of a small forward, power forward type of player who is really rim running type of guy as he is.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see in the future how they're going to continue to try and build around him. I mean, you have to just surround him with shooters.
Yeah.
There's a reason he's like Kelly Olynyk. I love playing with him because Kelly stretches the floor.
Shout out to KO, man. He's been really good in New Orleans.
Damn, he's one of those guys that I miss in Boston. Him and Aaron Baines.
Aaron Baines, shout out Aaron Baines. Yeah. He looks like all of Australia.
Tommy Heinsohn, rest in peace. Saw him in the shower.
Oh God, Tommy Heinsohn, man.
It's one of the all-time what the fuck am I hearing? I tell you, I saw that Baines in the shower.
Tommy Heinsohn could not pronounce Giannis's last name for the life of him.
Oh no, he couldn't.
It was everything but Antetokounmpo. It was like
Antetokounmpo.
He just give up halfway through. What the fuck was I gonna say about Zion? I remember. I was watching a game because I've been watching some Pelicans games. I don't know. I must hate myself or something. But freaking. They are fun to watch when healthy. But I watched Zion dunk the ball so fucking hard that it went through the basket, hit the floor, came back up, and almost went back through the basket. So I think that's a testament to his athleticism. A little bit. I have never seen that, but I've never seen anybody volleyball spike a basketball so fucking hard that it comes back up and almost scores another fucking basket.
That reminds me of the shit they would say about Wilt, bro. Wilt dunked the ball so hard it broke a man's toe. Come on.
Back in the Plummer era.
Seriously. But yeah, he's an exciting player.
Yep.
Unfortunately, the team he plays for is not quite as exciting.
It really should be, though.
It should be.
So sad.
It really should be. They got McCollum.
Was it Alvarado or Rado?
I don't know how much of their team is injured right now. Hopefully they, it'll be... Do they have their pick this year?
Their pick? I don't know. Speaking of picks, I think the most sleeper pick of the draft has been Yves Misi, or however you say his name.
Oh yeah, Yves Misi.
Yves Misi, yeah.
He's a hustle guy. He comes in, he plays aggressively.
I think he looks solid.
Yeah.
I forget where he got drafted.
Very solid pick. 21st pick, yeah. I mean, late first round pick. You get a quality hustle guy at big man, that's good for you.
Exactly. You got, at least they got Brandon Ingram out of there. I mean...
You had to make a choice at some point.
Yeah.
Whether it was going to be Ingram you were going to build around or Zion.
And it's clear who the choice would be if Zion can stay healthy, and he's younger too. So
if healthy,
even though Ingram's like the Walmart Kevin Durant, you know what I mean? It's like
maybe not even Walmart.
Maybe Facebook Marketplace Kevin Durant, I'd say.
Right. Like a Dollar Tree Kevin Durant. So they have their own first round pick.
Yeah.
So hey, I mean, who knows? Maybe you luck into Cooper and
capture that flag, boys.
Capture the flag. But maybe you luck into him. I mean, I know he just got hurt with Duke. I don't know how serious it is.
Nope.
But will probably be the number one pick. So who knows? Maybe he ends up in New Orleans with Big Z. They make something happen.
I work with someone that told me they think Cooper Flag is going to OKC. And their reasoning was because Sam Presti has like 3,000 first-round picks. He can just trade like 10 of them and trade up to the first pick and get Cooper Flag if he wants to.
He could.
He really could. I mean,
who knows if whatever team would be willing.
I don't know why you would do that when you have the team you currently have. You know what I mean? Like,
right. But even in the lottery team scenario, like you're a team that has the first pick, and it's like here's 4 more picks. If I'm confident enough in that prospect,
yeah,
I'm not gonna look at those 4 other picks and be like, ooh. If I have a prospect right in front of me that I know, this guy, I think he's legit. I think he can be the future of the franchise. I'm gonna take that guy instead of taking 4 more shots at maybe getting that guy.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I look at it. What I would say for OKC, KD's getting traded this summer. I would look at that reunion. If they don't get it done this year.
Yeah.
I would look at that reunion.
I'd look at it. I don't know if I'd feel great about it. I don't know. His departure wasn't very good from the team.
He did have a cupcake departure.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, like, yeah, as a Thunder fan, I'm sure you would take him back in a heartbeat because Kevin Durant, you know what I mean? But like, it's just the history of leaving to get your ass carried to a couple rings, you know what I mean? Like, oh God.
To me though, it would be kind of like, it would be kind of similar to LeBron going back to Cleveland. It would be like he played there all those years. Fans loved him.
Yeah.
He left in a way that the fans hated.
But like, he delivered on his promise though. He did what he said he was going to do, and then he was like, hey, I want to take my talents elsewhere. You know, it's like, it's not like KD losing to the fucking team he was going to join.
That's the biggest thing about it for me. It's like, how are you going to lose to a team and then immediately join? It's like, you were 1 game away from beating them and being in the finals.
Yep. That should fuel you to be like, you know what? We're going to come back next year even better, and we're going to get our revenge. You know what I mean? So
I just think it was with the Warriors, he knew they were going to play together, where with him and Russ, it was a lot of my turn, your turn. They both were number 1 caliber players at the time, but Durant was better. And he didn't have the number 1 player type of mentality that Russ had. Russ had that alpha dog personality.
Do you think Kevin Durant leaving won Westbrook the MVP? I do too. 100%.
I completely do.
Because, man, you keep him on that team, it takes so many opportunities away from Westbrook.
Right. And I mean, Westbrook had to carry that team on his back.
Literally.
Because they didn't really have anyone outside of him. I'm trying to think, when KD left, did they still have Ibaka? Or when did Ibaka end up leaving them and going to it was Toronto he ended
Toronto, right, yep.
Because he won the title with Toronto, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
So that was 2019. So I don't know how.
I want to say it was like a year after KD left. Like, or Ibaka was out of there, I think. A year or two.
Wait, hold up. No, he went to the Magic before the Raptors.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, they traded
Okay, I remember that now.
Yeah, they traded Ibaka for Oladipo and Sabonis.
Right.
Yep. So that's what happened. They got Oladipo and Sabonis, and damn, Sabonis been in the league that
long, bro. It does not feel like it. Oh, that's where I got the Facebook Marketplace term yesterday. Somebody told me Sabonis is a Facebook Marketplace Jokic. Which is so true.
That does feel pretty accurate, actually. Shout out to Sabonis, though. He's been good.
He's like the most overlooked player in the league, I swear. Like, for anything. Right. His contributions to any team he is on is so impactful. It's like, it's crazy.
Damn right. We were talking about the Pelicans, weren't we?
We went down the most insane rabbit hole of like 6 different things.
It went from Pelicans
that's what happens,
to
though.
Flag to Cooper Flag, Thunder to KD to the Thunder,
to Ibaka,
to
Sabonis. What the fuck?
That was something, but, you know.
Well, I think this is the first time that's happened.
Right. Hey,
it won't be the last.
Tangents are a part of the game.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh my God. Well, shout out Zion. Zion's pretty damn good.
Shout out to Big Z.
All right. I had one more point here, which I witnessed last night, which was Payton Pritchard off the bench, most threes in regular season history. It took him a little bit to do it. When he was trying to set the record, he was hucking up some bricks, but in record-setting fashion.
Right. I feel like it's like whenever there's a 3-point record that's like
knew.
On the verge.
He probably knew he was close, but
they probably had a timeout when he was a couple away.
Yeah.
And someone's like, yo.
Yeah. And then that gets in your head like, oh, man.
Yeah, but it's like, oh, I have to make sure I do this.
It's like LeBron, not to get off topic again, but it's like LeBron recently going for 50,000 career points, right? Between postseason and regular season. It's like he needed 18 to get to 50K, and he finished the game with 17.
Yeah, I couldn't believe
I was like, bro, I feel for anyone that bought tickets to this fucking game.
Didn't he actually, speaking, going back to Zion a little bit, didn't he actually get the 50K against the Pelicans?
Yeah, I think he did.
Yeah. Because I remember they had like, DraftKings had like the little bet thing for it where you get like a bonus or something to bet on him. How he was going to reach 50K.
Yeah.
But he needed 1 point.
1 fucking point. That's it. 49,999. Woohoo! I have announced my retirement from the game of basketball.
Yeah. I'm curious how much longer he's actually going to play.
I give him 2 more years.
I feel
minimum.
That. I feel that.
Minimum.
I think it would be interesting if he played long enough for Bryce to get drafted.
Oh, here we go again. Stephen A. Smith is going to be foaming at the mouth, bro.
I'm pleading with you as a father. Come on. Come on.
Stephen A., man. Yeah, we were talking about Payton Pritchard.
We were talking about Payton Pritchard. He has been truly insane offensively this year.
Yeah, he has.
It feels like he can just get to his spots whenever he wants to. He has a really deep bag, especially for a bench player. And I feel like offensively, he is like not quite all-star level.
Yeah.
But close.
If Payton Pritchard was on, I've said this a million times, Payton Pritchard was on a lottery team. Can you imagine? Like, if he was, like, your number 1 or number 2 option, like...
I legitimately feel like if given the opportunity, he could average 20 again.
Yeah,
I truly feel that. I mean, I don't think he'd do much else, frankly. I mean, it's unfortunate that he isn't a couple of inches taller. But he has an offensive skill set that's really just absurd at times. Uh-huh. It reminds me of like a Jamal Crawford type of player, not in the manner in which they score, but in the fact that you have this guy coming off the bench that can light your team up any given night. Yeah. It's like if I'm a team preparing to play the Celtics, you have to figure out how are you going to stop JT, how are you going to stop JB, what are you going to do to sort of rein those guys in? But then as you're preparing your bench unit, have to have Pritchard in mind, because if you don't, he'll light you up.
I don't know what the Celtics would do without Payton Pritchard, because like there's so many games where you just need that bench spark. The starters just don't have it, and like he comes in, 1 3, 2 3s, 3 3s, and he's fucking shooting them damn near the logo. Sometimes he's making them. The confidence is insane.
It is insane.
He's the fucking half court king from what we've seen too. It's like
I remember seeing too. I forget exactly when I saw it. I saw it on my phone, so I must have seen it on like Instagram or something. But Joe Mazzulla was talking about it where they would have a drill in practice where it was just everybody would take turns guarding Pritchard one-on.
Oh, I heard about that.
And so he would just he would get practice cooking everyone. And granted, like
he gets to the basket like so easily too.
Mm-hmm. It's like that's got to give him the confidence that he can score on anybody. Mm. He can come in the game and just crush it because he has Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, Porzingis, and everybody guarding him every other practice one-on-one. He's figured out all these ways to kind of maneuver around him. It's funny too because it's such like a short player. I say that like I'm not shorter than he is, but as like was he 6'2"?
Richard, yeah, I think he's 6'2",
yeah,
6'3"-ish.
But as a guy that small, it's interesting that like he doesn't really score on the bigger guys because of his athleticism, or at least his vertical athleticism.
Yeah.
Like Isaiah Thomas, when he was playing, he would go up for the layup. He would hang in the air, sort of maneuver around in the air, and find a way to get the layup over.
That kid was insane.
Pritchard, it feels like he'll just hit you with 2 or 3 fakes.
Yep.
And just toss it up quick where you can't get it.
Mm-hmm.
And so the manner in which he scores, especially on bigger players around the basket, is really impressive.
It's from all that, 1v1ing kids at the local park. That's it's all that practice.
That's such a great clip. Like, I love it when NBA players are just willing to hoop anywhere.
With anybody. Like,
exactly. Because it's like, that's what the game's about.
Yeah.
Like, all the players in the league playing because they love it, but the players who don't forget why they play are some of my favorites.
Exactly.
I don't like it when players are like, I'm too big for this.
Pause. Yeah. Shout out P, man. Parlay Pritch.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I ran out of things to talk about. I was thinking maybe we could do like a hoop grid or something.
All right.
If you want. I haven't done one in a while.
We can try. You ready for this to be a 3-hour episode?
Don't worry. We can we can do it lightning quick, or not lightning quick, but we can
lightning quick. Ka-chow.
Ka-chow. Ka-chiga. Ka-chiga. Hey, how come the only one celebrating is me? Huh? Bring on a piston cup.
NBA All-Star played in the 1980s. I've got one.
A non-obvious answer is tough, It's like, how about you say yours?
Bernard King.
I don't think I could quickly think of one better, so.
I accidentally typed N instead of B, so it was Bernard King for a second.
Bernard Ning.
0.52%. So that's solid for now.
Not bad, yeah.
2-time All-Star in the 80s. And then guess what the other one is? 3-time All-Star in the 80s.
See, there's obvious answers, bro.
So the way it is it's All-Star, 2-time All-Star, 3-time All-Star. And then it's 80s, 90s, 2000s.
That's tough.
I have one for played in the 90s.
What's that?
I want to see how many people remember this. Larry Bird actually played in the 90s. Okay, 1.4%.
That's not bad. Yeah.
Or 3-time All-Star in the 90s.
Because he was getting to like the end of his career, or at least to his terms. But
so he played till 91.
So that works. Only 7 squares to go. Let's see. 2-time All-Star in the 80s. Oh, I gotta watch the fucking Last Dance again.
I think I've got a guess. I want to see if he's a 3-time All-Star before I put him for 2-time All-Star.
We threw out his name!
So he wasn't a 3-time All-Star. Let me see if he was a 2-time All-Star. Terry Cummings.
I forgot about the Cumster.
Terry Cummings, 2-time All-Star. 0.55%.
Shout out the Cumster, man. That's
the OG cum bucket.
Man, I wish he played with Grady Dick. Anyways.
Imagine that jersey swap.
Dick to Cummings.
Yeah. Just the 2 jerseys. Dick Cummings. I don't know if you want to knock out one of them in the 2000s.
2000 might be a little easier. Is there 1-time, 2-time?
1-time, 2-time, and 3-time.
Okay, 1-time All-Star in the 2000s.
Mm-hmm.
Let me think here. How obvious of an answer is Dwight Howard?
Dwight Howard probably has a good amount, but let's see.
Because I'm trying to just like...
Oh, actually, 0.6.
Because I was going to say, like, people tend to forget about that portion of his career where he just, like, carried the Orlando franchise. I was like...
I'm going to see if I can get us a better one for that 3-time All-Star for the 90s.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm curious. How long did David Thompson play?
David Thompson.
He played until 83.
Okay.
Let me see if he was a 3-time All-Star. And we can get our 80s portion of the set. 3-time All-Star. 0.7%. David Thompson.
I'll take it.
So 80s is done. We got 2 more for the 90s and 2 more for the 2000s.
Okay. So we need 1 and 2 time for the 90s.
And then 2 and 3 time for...
Okay.
And remember, they don't have to have been a 3-time All-Star in the 2000s. They just have to have been a 3-time All-Star and played a game in the.
I don't know if this is cheating.
What?
For the 2000s, you could put Jordan. Because he played in the fucking 2000s.
You definitely.
That's thinking outside the box.
Let's see how many people did that.
I'm curious.
Jordan. 2.1%.
Not
for
horrible.
Michael Jordan?
Yeah.
That's actually lower
2000s.
than I'd expect. Yeah.
Nobody forgets about Uncle Jordan and on the fucking Wizards, you know?
Wizards. Oh, man. I want to see, before we fill in any more, if we can get these 2 gold ones down. So, 3-time All-Star in the 90s or the 2000s.
Okay. All-Stars is tough, man.
Right.
Because the way to get, like, a good score, you'd have to pick someone that had exactly that amount of All-Star appearances.
All right. I've improved our 90s.
What was that?
I just swapped out Larry Bird for Kevin McHale.
There you go.
So it's 0.85%.
Okay.
Shows Kevin McHale as a 3-time All-Star for the 90s. So now we need a 3-time All-Star for the 2000s.
3-time All-Star for the 2000s. It's all obvious people going through my head. You know what I mean?
Hey, I mean, anyone you can think of
probably would have less guesses than Jordan.
Less guesses than Jordan?
Unless you're choosing, like, LeBron or Shaq or something.
Yeah, like I was thinking, like, Reggie Miller just, like, popped into my head. You know what I mean?
Let's go for it.
3-time in 2000s, it's like...
Reggie Miller probably has less than... Yeah, Reggie Miller, 0.69.
What the fuck for Reggie Miller?
For the 2000s, I feel like a lot of people only associate him with
the 90s. Yeah, okay, that's fair.
Oh, good shit. Good shit.
I'll
So we
take
got
it.
3 more spots.
We got all diamond picks so far.
We do. That's the goal. That whenever I do these, my goal is to try and get all diamond.
It's so hard to fucking do, man. What was that like out of pocket pick I had for you a couple like a month ago or something?
Yikes.
It was like 5+ assists in a game and Steph Curry teammate or whatever. And I just pulled out Brad Wanamaker out of nowhere because he had played for the Celtics. I'm like, I know damn well he had 5+ assists in a season for us because he was solid off the bench, and I know he played with Steph Curry. I was like, I just threw that out. It was like this most obscure pick.
Oh, it was such a good pick too because it was a diamond, and I had forgot Brad Wanamaker existed. So it was really
Wanamagic off the bench.
When he would play, he looked like a robot,
bro. Like he was so mechanical.
He was an NPC.
Like, for real. Like, I love Brad Wanamaker. He was good. Like, he was a very, very solid backup point guard.
Yeah.
But it looked like he was a robot programmed to play point guard when he played. So, do we want to finish off the 2000s or do we want to loop to the 90s?
Finish off the 2000s. 2-time All-Star for the 2000s. I will say... Oh, man. Can you reverse it so the 2-time All-Star for the 90s?
Yeah, we can do
you
that.
Put Kobe. Because that was very early in his career.
I'll put Kobe. 2.03.
Okay, well, that can get better.
In 2000s, I'm going to see if he was a 2-time All-Star. I don't know if he was. I'm going to try Peja Stojakovic.
Look-y, feel like he might have been.
He was.
Oh.
0.89.
I'll take that all day.
0.89. So we have all diamond and 1 gold with Kobe. So we need a 2-time All-Star in the 90s who is a little less recognizable than Kobe, and then a 1-time All-Star.
This is... Oh, wait a minute.
I think I have a guess for 1-time All-Star.
2-time All-Star in the 90s, try Vince Carter.
Vince Carter?
Yeah.
I want to say his first year was... 1998.
Yeah.
Okay.
Still the same.
1.3.
A little
1.3.
better.
So better, but not quite there. Jermaine O'Neal was drafted in 1996.
Yeah, he was drafted like age 18. He was young.
0.64.
That's perfect.
I have final guess for 90s All-Star.
All right, try it out, and if it's not a diamond, I'll try to...
Vin Baker.
Vin Baker? Where the hell did
Let's
Vin Baker come
go.
from? Pulled that out your ass?
Dude, I wrote I want to say a book report about Vin Baker because he, unfortunately, I want to say it was an alcohol issue he had.
Ooh.
And so he had a good career in the league, sort of had his issues with alcohol, and then he actually went on to manage a Starbucks.
Okay.
And so he was making a living off that, doing good, and sort of like a story about his life. Wrote a book report on it. But anyways, after I had learned about that story, I sort of looked into his career. And he was damn good. But yeah, he was a one-time All-Star, so
that works.
thought of him.
Perfect.
Former Celtic, actually. Our score is better than 86.17% of grids.
Yes, sir.
So let's see where that ranks us. Right now, beards and buckets on here is... Oh, we are not high up at all.
Because there's that one
What-
NBA fiend, bro. That just
What
knows everything.
was our score? 5.82. So that puts us at 160th.
Hey,
Woo!
I'll take it. How many people use hoop grids, bro?
Damn right. Yeah, 160th. I'll take it. Shout out to Doi Vu for 1.444.
If you ain't 160th, you're last. You know?
Yeah, that's a solid grid. I'll take that.
Yeah.
I'll take that. And we did that in record time for us.
For real. Well, this has been fun. The Cavs are good.
Definitely. The Cavs are good. We'll never let you forget that.
Oh, man.
Selection Sunday today, 8 p.m. Can't wait to see what team Bryant's going to be going up against. They're probably going to be a 16 seed. It's going to suck to watch like Duke or Auburn kick our ass, but you know.
All right, well, go Bulldogs, man.
Go Bulldogs.
Going all the way.
Damn right. I wonder how much, like, when the bracket's set, if you put like $1 on them to win the national championship, I wonder how much it would win.
Probably like $160 or something, or like, if I had to guess.
Hey.
You never know, man.
Who knows? I'm going to have to put that money down.
Throw $1 on the Bulldogs, man. They could make you a rich man. You'd be the guy at the championship game. Whoa!
Yeah.
Like Mr. Krabs with his freaking dollar.
Whoa! Whoa!
Do you know what this is? A very dirty dollar.
It's me millions. No. Well, anyway, the Cavs are good. Thanks for listening,
They're
guys.
fantastic. Until we see you guys again.